All right, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so just wanted to reiterate some things that we've been talking about this entire week. Just a heads up that we do have a test tomorrow. I know that sounds pretty bad because it's Friday, but you know that's how it works. Our schedule's been crazy, so we just got to work around it. Okay. Right in front of you have your slotted notes. I'll come watch and monitor you as we go. I just wanted to make sure we're on the same page before we do take our test. All right, because just a heads up, our test is 20 multiple choice questions. Okay. I feel like that's a good amount, but based on this data that I get from how we do, will determine how the test for next week goes for social interactions, and then the next one for world conflict. All right, guys, we're almost there. I think we're like 2 weeks until the end of the Christmas break, or the beginning of Christmas break, okay? So just bear with me. All right, so environment and energy, that's what we've been talking about for the past 3 weeks. If you look over here, here's our learning target and our essential question. We actually keep it over here as well. And our standards, our other standards, and as well as our lesson, if you ever want to know what we're actually doing, it's right here. So let's just take a look at this. Our learning target is, I will just demonstrate knowledge of the nature of various environmental problems. We've had 6 issues that we saw online. In the PowerPoint, there's 10. There was another resource that we looked at on Canvas. If you want to look back at it, it was top 6. Okay, we're talking about air pollution, overpopulation, loss of biodiversity. All right. Essential question for this week is what are examples of various environmental issues in the world today? Like I said, there was 10. In this PowerPoint, we're going to go over some of them, and then if you want to look online, we have a Kahoot game to try to get all your thinking going. Okay? All right, so there was here, like I said, there's the top 10 worst environmental issues. We've had the ozone hole, public health issues, deforestation, acid rain, energy crisis, waste disposal, loss of biodiversity, pollution, climate change, and overpopulation. Okay, each slide that we're about to go through, we've been through this already, but just wanted to show you a quick run through before we actually review game, since we do have a test tomorrow. All right, so the ozone hole. Essentially, if we look at this picture, is there really a hole in space? Like a legit hole?
No.
Okay, no. All right, now what's this over here?
The sun.
Okay, you have the sun. What are these rays called?
UVA.
UVA, UVB, all right? This is the ozone layer. It shields the Earth from the UV rays, all right? Now understand, this protects us. Y'all ever notice how hot it can be?
Yes.
I mean, just imagine the hottest day of your life, okay? Now understand, the ozone layer protects us from those rays. Now, when I'm talking about ozone layer depletion, that necessarily means that this is going away, okay? And this is supposed to do what? It's supposed to shield, right? Okay, so what happens if this ozone layer is depleted? What is now going to hit the Earth? What are these up here?
The UV.
The UV rays, right? Okay, and you imagine it being hot now? Imagine how hot that's going to be. That will be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You will be fried. Not you, all of us. That makes sense? That's just important. Now, how is this actually developed? There was an article that I posted on Canvas on NASA. It was about aerosols. Basically, those are ozone layer depleting chemicals. These are a mixture of chemicals. Nick actually had the example of air pollution. This will actually, cause this too. Okay, so this is a big issue that we need to worry about. This isn't really something that we would really talk about as a social studies class, but this is important because this is a current issue. And I know a lot of you have environmental science, so this kind of goes into that. Basically, what an aerosol is just chemicals under pressure, and when there's too much pressure in there, it pretty much explodes, okay? This is the picture that I've looked at over the sun. You see the sun, okay, the sun's yellow, orange, whatever you want to call it. This is really a process of the ozone and oxygen atoms, how they break down and actually go into the ozone layer, all right? There's, like I said, there's not necessarily a hole that you can walk right through, but if you look here, the green layer, let's say that's the safe layer, all right? There's not technically a hole, but this is, the ozone, okay? All this is the ozone layer in green. The blue is the ozone, okay? So, if it's green, you see your Dobson units, it's closer to 400 if it's green, and if it's blue and purple, it's 220. Now, this ranges from 150 all the way to 540, okay? So, like I said, it's not necessarily a hole that is depleted in space, but it actually is concentrated from all the aerosols and depleting chemicals that are deterring and getting rid of this ozone. Because, once again, the ozone layer is protecting us from what from the sun?
UV.
UV rays, perfect. All right, moving on to public health issues. We talked about diabetes. Diabetes type 1, type 2, type 3. All right, type 1. We've had, Raul actually came with the example of having type 2, okay? Type 2. And that's basically when type 1 is where your body doesn't produce enough insulin, okay? Type 2 is basically, type 1, you don't produce insulin at all, okay? Your sugar levels are all over the place. Type 2, you don't produce enough, okay? That's where you actually have your insulin shot. Y'all ever seen anybody prick anybody? Yeah, that's it, okay? And then type 3 is gestational diabetes. That should not apply to any of you because nobody's pregnant in here. All right, so give each other a hand. 1, 2, 3. I'm joking. Anyways, it's actually funny because I actually found out about 2 days ago. My wife called me, and she never calls me while I'm in school. I'm teaching. I can't be like, all right, guys, sorry, hold on. Hello? No, I can't do that. I could, but I wouldn't have my job. Anyway, she called me and said, hey, Tyler. I was like, yes, are you okay? She's like, so I just went to the doctor. I don't have gestational diabetes. I was like, that's awesome. But, I'm working. So, anyways, basically what that is when you're pregnant, you produce diabetes, and it doesn't really affect you or the baby, but you do have to change your diet, because if not, then that can, cause, heart issues or health issues. Okay, and we also talked about, obesity. Remember that the model we had I talked about the scanner, and you actually hold your hands up like this, and it actually rates your body weight based on your
Did you ever find that?
What?
Did you ever find that?
Yeah, I actually found it. It was I did it, and I remember in college, my BMI was like 28%. Okay. Now, if we looked at a schedule, like if we looked here, it actually shows a scale. If you're above 20, you're considered obese. So in college, what was I? Obese. Okay. Now do I look obese? Don't answer that. Don't answer
No.
That. Don't answer that.
You look good.
Thank you. Extra credit. Anyways, when I done it again this time, it was 26. So I guess I'm doing a little better. All right. And it's hard to manage that because I love to eat. I'm sure you guys do too. Also, you have your cancer, your communicable diseases. That's if I go up to Joseph right here. Let's say you're coughing, you're sick, you're disgusted. You have what does he have? He has
bronchitis.
The flu. Okay, yes, bronchitis. I've had that. You ever had that?
I had that. Sucks.
All right, so if he has bronchitis, and he's coughing on his hand, he's coughing all over the place. All right, and then if he walks in my classroom, says, "Hey, Coach Pete," shake my hand. Now, what just happened there? So what just happened? What just happened when we shook our hands?
Exchange germs.
Okay, we exchanged germs, right? All right. What if I go back to my desk and sit down? And I'm like, oh man. And I put it all over me, right? That's a communicable disease. Also, if he's coughing in my face and he's talking, that's coming right to me. We're communicating. Does that make sense? Also, your mental illnesses. All right, we talked about. If you look over there, we actually did a poster a couple weeks ago when we were talking about crime. Low self-esteem, that could be a mental illness. Okay, your emotionality, your emotions that can deal with how you act. Remember we talked about that. Okay, deforestation. All right, so what is deforestation?
The removal of forest by cutting or burning.
Yeah, when people cut trees down. All right, I'll show you a picture that I believe is in Mongolia. All right, when you tear down all these trees, who lives there? Animals. All right, what do we use for animals? What's the purpose of it?
Food.
Okay, yeah, herd, eat. You see what I'm saying? If we get rid of all their habitats, where do they go? They die. All right, this is a big deal, guys. You got to understand that. And also, when we're talking about non-renewable and renewable resources, are trees renewable or non-renewable? Are you sure?
Renewable.
Okay, so if we cut them down, can we grow them back? Yeah. And a fun fact. Trees, they actually help clean air, okay? When we actually talk and breathe out, carbon dioxide is going out, okay? Now we breathe in oxygen. Does that make sense? You just learned a little environmental science there. Also, we talked about fossil fuels, all right? And you saw the 360 I just did? All right, so we talked about fossil fuels, okay? Those are non-renewable, okay? Your gas, your petroleum, okay? Excuse me. So with that, once it's gone, what happens? We can't get it. And how long do you think it's going to take to get it? Not millions, too high.
Thousands.
Thousands, perfect, okay? This is
Extra credit.
All right, so that's what it looks like. All right, that's pretty cool. Looking at it, it looks cool. But is it really cool?
No.
Doing that? No. Because who is in there?
Animals.
Animals, okay? Animals, people, villages, but for this case, let's say just animals, all right? They are in here, and this, when we lose all of this, we're losing our natural resources. Guys, we could replenish and grow these back, but you think it takes a day for a tree to grow back? How long do you think it takes for a tree to grow back?
Years.
Years, guys. And that's just to grow like 2 feet. So how does this impact us, guys? Like I said, loss of habitat, cause climate change, desertification. So that's a desert. Y'all been in a desert?
Yeah.
You've been in
No.
Really, Texas? That's cool. Also, soil erosion. That's what we talked about. The soil, the topsoil and the grass is the best soil. That's where everything grows. Erosion is when it's wiped off. Okay, think of like a disaster, like a heavy rain. All right, not necessarily a hurricane, but like a tropical storm. All right, all that soil is gone, and we can use that to create food. That makes sense. Also, fewer crops, like I just said. You know, we don't have soil, we can't grow anything. No farmers. See ya. Flooding, same thing. Flooding, the soil is actually used to slow down the water. If there's no soil, what's this going to happen? Everything's just going away. You got me? Also, increased greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. All right, that's harmful. Okay. Now, if there's greenhouse gases going into the field, what is depleting? What was that little hole we called?
Ozone.
The ozone. Okay, perfect. Good job. And also, lastly, just got to touch on it. Just problem for indigenous people who actually live there or around from the area. You know, they impact on that too. Acid rain. We've actually had a group that did this when we did our posters. All right. I believe it is right over here. Okay. Basically, acid rain is about smoke from factories. Go all the way up in the air and messes the clouds, precipitation, and acid rain comes down. All right. What happens when acid rain comes? What happens to all our stuff?
It ruins the roads,
Cars, roads, everything. Right. All right. Now this just shows you have your nitric oxide. All the materials that actually go into this is actually caused from the sun too, and when it goes down, it tears everything up. People, water, fish. You know where I'm going? I wish I had a clicker sometimes. I think that's what I need for Christmas. You guys need to give me a clicker. I'm getting tired of going back and forth. Anyways, energy crisis. We have your coal, your natural gas, your petroleum. Are those renewable or non-renewable?
Renewable.
Wait, what?
Wait, non-renewable.
All right, so raise your hand if it's renewable. Raise your hand if not renewable. Give yourself a hand. All right, so coal, natural gas, and petroleum, is it renewable or non-renewable?
Non-renewable.
Non-renewable. Okay, give them a hand. 1, 2, 3. Can't leave them out. All right, so there's a gas shortage example that I showed you. It was on Canvas. It was in the 1970s. All right, with gas being non-renewable, is it easy to replace?
No.
Okay, so we all need gas, right, to drive. All right, even whether it's diesel or gas to just drive your cars. If there's no gas, what happens?
It stops and the car goes in.
And then what are we going to end up doing? End up sitting, walking. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Walking everywhere.
And our legs.
Yeah, that's a little problem. Just imagine what we do if we had no cars. Also here, moving on, your waste disposal. There's actually a video that if I would click on that, due to time constraints, we're not going to look over it. But basically, what it was you know how we do get rid of trash now. You know how they do it. You ever been to like a dump station or like an actual facility? What does it look like?
It's just hills.
Hills. It looks like
the trash.
It looks like a mountain, don't it? All right. Well, I mean, you can imagine all that's processed and try to recycle. Now, you notice, that's harming the environment. All right, because where is it going? They're going to try to erode in the ground. Yeah, but that's still going to hurt. Now, with Finland, okay, remember we talked about Finland with education back there. Okay, we talked about social interactions. This is in Finland. They actually came up with a machine that is like a trash chute, but it's a machine that actually like shoots lasers and kills like all the material. Could you imagine that?
I wish we had that.
That would be cool. That'd be dangerous. I mean, could you imagine?
That'd be dope.
Could you imagine if we had a machine that we just walked by and? Could you imagine you fell on that? Yeah. Yeah. Good luck. But that was the solution to the trash problem. Now, do you think that could come to the U.S.? Maybe. Possibly.
Cost a lot.
It would, but would it be worth it?
Yes.
Exactly. Loss of biodiversity. There was another video that we had. All right, if we're losing biodiversity, what are we losing?
Animals.
We're losing animals. All right, think of it just like deforestation. All right, bio meaning life, diversity. Think of multiple. Okay, multiple animals. Number 3, pollution. Okay, what is pollution? Yes.
5 more minutes, dude.
What is it?
What is it? What?
What's pollution?
Where it gets into the clouds and then forms acid rain and then destroys other.
Perfect.
Areas.
Perfect. All right. So, where do you think pollution comes from?
Factories.
Factories. But what else?
Driving.
Driving what? Trucks, cars. Okay, all that. That's harming the environment. You ever heard the term of carpooling? Okay, carpooling is when you use not just two. If me and JoJo are going to Atlanta, instead of using 2 cars, we ride together to save the environment. Now, does that happen a lot?
No.
No. If it didn't happen, then we wouldn't have so much traffic everywhere. Okay. Number 2, climate change. Climate change. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Anybody watched that before? Okay, it shows are cool, right? Yeah, I remember when I watched those your age. All right, now he doesn't no longer do those videos, but he still is a science guy. It was a National Geographic video that talked about climate change. All right, everyone talked about global warming. Has anyone ever heard that before? Yeah, when it's global warming, everything's going to be so hot that we just cannot live anything. Okay, could you imagine that? Yeah, that is that's why it's number 2. And last but not least, overpopulation. What in the world does that mean?
It's been like that.
More people than there's supposed to be.
There's too many people. Too many people. All right, we talked about renewable and non-renewable resources. All right, so if we have non-renewable resources, what does that mean again?
Wait, too many people.
Too many people than there's supposed to be.
Non-renewable resources.
Oh.
If something's non-renewable, what does that mean?
Depletes.
Okay, once it depletes, it is what?
Gone.
Okay, so if we got too many people over here and non-renewable resources, what's going to happen?
We're gonna run out.
We're going to run out, and then what?
What?
Then it's no good. We're in trouble. All right, this is a problem. We use the example about China. China back in the day actually only had one. There was a law where they can only have 1 child per family. Okay.
There's only gonna be a boy.
Yeah, and if they wanted a boy, okay, if it was a girl, they pretty much abandoned it. Could you imagine? That's awful. Yeah, and they're still the leading country in population. All right. U.S. I believe is number 3. Okay. And just for your test, this is a test question. We have a 7.6 billion population in the world. Okay, that's of October. Okay, that's the most current. All right, that is a question on the test. All right. All right. Well, now that is it. We can move on to transition to our Kahoot game.